base relay kit is going to be the most simple one to install. It's going to include your relay harness with the 8 leads and the T-harness for the cab light switch. Option 2 is the added switch harness. This includes the rock light harness with the 8 leads, your stock dome light connector, and an added connection for your additional switch. Option 3 allows you to connect a Switch Pro. This is your rock light harness, your stock dome light connector, and then your Switch Pro connection. Tools you're going to need are zip ties, wire cutters, strippers, and a crimp tool, a coat hanger to fish the wire, electrical tape, and rock lights if they're not in the kit. The stock relay harness is going to include an actual relay with positive and negative leads, as well as a relay. The JST, which is going to go through the firewall and connect to the stock connector harness. When you first get the kit, it's best to lay these all out in the ground and map out which side is going to be the passenger driver. A quick pro tip: grab a piece of blue painter's tape and throw it on the passenger side. That's a longer side. If you're wiring up the harness, you're going to have connectors from the positive and negative sides. Make sure you line up the male and female ends correctly. So the first step is to remove the interior trim. I just used a plastic trim removal tool, or you can use a flathead screwdriver. It comes off really easy and quick. Step 2 is going to be to fish the JST connector through the firewall. That's this guy right here. I used a coat hanger with some electrical tape, and just be very careful while you're pulling this through the firewall. You can also de-pin it, but it's really easy and you can get it through there.
Okay, so here's what we're looking at. We've got a couple of different elements here. So you've got your factory, here's your door light switch, off, door, and then just straight up on. You've also got this blank switch, depending on what model you have. I've got this knockoff Switch Pros, which I'll wire up later. This is going to be a key part of our initial explainer. A couple of options. So straight up stock kit. So this is what you're going to have if you've got just the base kit. This is going to plug into your stock harness, so you'll unplug this. We'll plug this guy into here, and it's just plug and play. And then we're going to take this JST and we would connect it up here.
So really quickly check to make sure that this works with the switch off and on, and then it engages when the door opens and shuts with your dome light switch. So now you're ready to route everything. I did mine by the battery, under close to where the headlight wiring goes, and then on the driver's side, just right where the crash bar is, just above that for the driver, there's the rock light connectors. The blue tape that signified the longer passenger side, right there. I wired these both just above the crash bar. on the left side and the right side are passenger and driver. You'll go around and underneath those mud guards, and you can pop those off with just a quick flathead. Route that on top of the frame, the wire, as you can see, pulling on top, right on the other side of that flap, around the back of my suspension components in the frame. And that wire is just going to follow your frame all the way back up the frame rail. That's my rear suspension. I mounted my rock lights on just T-plates from Home Depot with zip ties, but you can drill them in or mount them however you'd like. So as you can see, that rock light harness is coming out past the frame as it's been following all the way back to the rear tires. You'll keep following that back through the truck, mounting your lights, following that frame, and you're going to get to the very end of the truck. So this is going to follow that top left frame rail next to that suspension, and then you're going to have your last little bit of harness hanging out just past your leaf springs. So you can wire these lights with zip ties right there on the frame. Step 6 is easier to do after the harness has been run. Connect all your rock lights up if they didn't get included in the kit. I used a heat gun with shrink wrap butt connectors.
Cool, wanted to show you guys the options you've got. So I've got my headlights turned on so I can light this switch up. But you've got, so off, turn the rock lights off totally. Leave it to door in the middle. That keeps them on when the door is open. So how this looks, got my door open here, all the rock lights are lit up. So your door is shut, you just shut it, and when you lock the truck, it's gonna go off. So you just came back to the truck, you click the unlock button once, just like you normally would, and your lights are on. Coming back to your truck, right? Open the door, rock lights are on. Cool. Next other awesome option here, if you're using something like a Switch Pro, I got my rock light right there, if you can see that. I click it, and bam, lit up. So you've got a couple different options.
Quick note, this is the same as if you had the other switch set up for just an add a switch without a Switch Pros. Same operation.
Sweet. So when you're doing the Switch Pros, all you do is you pin in that connector straight into the JST, which is the thing that comes out of the cab. And that matches up with this little orange wire. It's kind of hard to see, but it's going to match up. See how those match up? This is that other harness, right? And then that plugs back in to this guy, which is plugging into the stock factory one. So.
The next option is your C8 4x4 switch install. This is super simple. It includes the green connector, which includes a relay, which is required, and then that stock T-harness for the cab light switch connector. It's all plug and play and really simple to install.
Thank you.